Good morning and welcome to MagHub Monday. I'm your host, Nick Patero, and this is the show where we talk about everything related to MagHub, media, and sales. I've got a slightly different show for you this morning. Diane Schwartz from MetroCorp Publishing has taken some time out of her day to share her and her team's story of how they implemented the MagHub Forecasting Module inside of their sales organization. They went from an Excel spreadsheet into the system, and she's going to talk a little bit about her experience, about the transition, some of the benefits of doing so, and how ultimately, while her team may have been slightly resistant to jump into the new system, they're saving time by creating forecasts based on previously sold orders and ultimately becoming more organized and likely catching those renewals before they expire. So let's hear from Diane directly. Diane, hey, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just to give everybody a little bit of background about you and about the company that you work for, would you mind giving us an idea of what your role at MetroCorp looks like?
Sure. I'm the director of operations, so I oversee three teams. The first is digital production, so the people who work on our website and just make sure it works. Um, Digital ad operations is the second team, the people who put the ads on our website, manage our programmatic relationships. And the third is client services. So that's the team that's sort of an offshoot of the sales team, helps with mostly post sale, but sort of starting at the contract portion of the process, and just make sure that all materials get where they need to go.
Nice. That encompasses quite a bit there.
Yeah.
And as you know, and as maybe a viewer might also know, MagHub has a lot of different modules,
Mhm.
and kind of focusing in on what is making the most difference for you
Yeah.
and the team, we decided to talk about the forecasting module.
Yeah.
So specifically, what did forecasting at MetroCorp look like prior to using MagHub?
Prior to using MagHub, it was pretty much manual. We had an Excel sheet. It was circulated around each week. It relied on people being timely to put in their updates, relied on somebody to aggregate all the updates, and sort of by the time that it was received, it was kind of out of date. So it was extremely manual and relied on salespeople to just sort of remember what was in their brain and put it down on the sheet, weekly, on a weekly basis.
Hmm. That sounds like a lot of work
Yeah.
and not as accurate as it probably could be, right?
For sure.
Uh, yeah, so I guess, you guys have been using MagHub for a few years now,
Hmm.
and um, what does it look like for the team using the forecasting module today?
Sure.
And like, where have you seen some improvements and what are the benefits of using the program?
Sure. So we've been using MagHub for a couple years. Forecasting, we had to make the decision to, cut ties with the former sheet and put everything in MagHub. I think that, that was hard at first, to sort of retrain the brain. But then people started putting things into MagHub. But I'd say since COVID, there's been, much more of a shift. Everybody's out of the office, and just the reliance on MagHub for, aggregating everything and getting into the system, for managers' purposes has been really helpful. And just to even beyond just the publishers, rolling up to all of management so that we can adequately forecast, especially given the pace of changes on a daily basis. People are pausing, people are canceling, people are restarting. The fact that you can sort of delete and undelete things has been really helpful. But yeah, it's since COVID, I would say, the focus of forecasting and trying to get an accurate forecast, having a system be able to do that for you and be able to pull a report, has been huge.
Yeah, knowing what's happening is impossible, or knowing what's going to happen in the future is really, really tough if your data is even, a couple of days or a week out of date.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's good to get that real-time information and, good to hear. So one of the things that we talk about a lot in the software world is adoption, right? How do you get folks to use the system? So outside of, beating people up or, knocking heads, how did you get the sales team to adopt the new program?
We showed sort of the ease at which things could be done. So, the fact that you can take an old order and sort of add that to your forecast really easily for people who sell the same thing. We have a lot of reps who, by category tend to sell the same things in the same issue, and to show them how easy it would be to just click and add, rather than have to spend tons of time adding each thing in individually. That was really a sort of a light bulb moment that, this can actually help me. I don't have to spend all this time entering in each one. So that was big on the adoption side of things, and just also explaining that they're going to be able to pull their reports and see at a high level where they are and at a detailed level where they are, and have that, spending the time putting in each item really gives them insight into where they are.
Absolutely. So is it fair to say a takeaway for this is while forecasting is great for managers, it may be even better for the individual salespeople?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, it takes time to sort of get that mind shift. I think before they saw forecasting as a chore, now they rely on those reports and, want that front and center, knowing that they can just open that up and see that, where they are at a high level. And then, why is this month looking like this? I need to go in and look at that month specifically and see where, what's still there. It's a reminder of what they have out there. It's a sort of keeping themselves honest, whether or not something is going to come in or isn't going to come in, and being able to have that dialogue, sort of there ready to go with their manager, for sure.
Yeah, great. Um, so Diane, thank you so much. We're really excited that the forecasting module is helping you and the team get a better idea of where things are looking for future issues in this time of great uncertainty. And you guys, thanks for tuning in. Diane, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.